Hello, everybody, and welcome to another California Psychics, a free preview of California Psychics, where we spend 1 hour doing a 1 hour live stream answering your questions for free. I am your host and moderator of today's live stream, Carson, and we are joined by one of our top-rated and fan favorites here at California Psychics, here with Psychic Zack. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you, Carson. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic this Monday. I'm getting a little
Good.
bit tongue-tied, but it's all good. I'll get this all out for our audience. First of all, as you can see right below my camera, we do have a promotion going on for our audience right before we begin answering questions. I wanted to shout this out because as the fall season begins and summer season ends, we wanted to emphasize the energy of manifesting love here at California Psychics. So when you use that code right below me, LOVE20, you can receive a 20% off your next purchase with us here at California Psychics. This is a big code usable by all of our customers. So we want to thank you for attending this live today. And again, use that code LOVE20 for 20% off your next purchase with us and towards your next love and relationship reading so you can find out exactly what's going on with your boo. But if you are wanting to use this code when you book a reading with Psychic Zack after seeing a little free preview of his abilities today while we answer your questions for free, make sure to stick around because we'll be shouting out his exact schedule later in the live stream. Now, lastly, before we get started, I want to list off some ground rules of questions we are able to answer here at California Psychics. Unfortunately, we are not able to answer any legal or medical questions, again, here at California Psychics, excuse me. For medical, this can include treatments, medications, pregnancies, and general fertility questions. And for legal, this can include court cases, custody battles, and just general court decisions. If you do ask about another person during today's live stream, please make sure you at least include their first name. This will allow Psychic Zack to connect faster and more accurately answer your question. But without any further ado, we have a full hour to go. Zack, are you ready to start answering some questions?
I certainly am, yes. Let's go.
All right. We are joined by one of our top rated here. So, Zack, can you start us off with some insight onto your abilities and some insight for Diana because she is asking also, I guess, a love card to pair as well with her reading between Diana and Sarah. Just kind of
You and
insight.
okay, yeah. Well, let's start off with a card then, if
Sure.
that's what you would like, Dennis. Let's see what we've got. Oh, so we've got time coming through there. This is my elementary oracle deck, by the way, just so everyone knows what I'm using. So with time coming through here, Diana, that is not a negative. It just suggests that you need to be a little bit patient. And when this comes through, I'm just sort of tuning into the energies of the card myself here. I'm sensing that there has been a little bit of stagnation. I think that's what the word I want to use, and a little bit of distraction here with this particular person. Distraction is only temporary. It causes them to lose focus because of other things that are going on in their life, which can take the focus away from you by default. But with the time card coming through, it is saying that everything's going to be okay with this relationship. It's just a question of giving it the test of time. So be patient, keep doing what you're doing, maybe just sort of give him a little bit of breathing space. But overall, I think this is going to be a positive situation. Like I say, just give it that little bit of time.
Amazing. All right. Well, Diana, we hope this really did resonate with you because it was a great start to our live stream today. Some very insightful answer to get us started. Our next question for you, Psychic Zack, is from Mesha. Will she and Brandon be getting back together? And if so, can you see when?
Misha, right, let's have a look at you and Brandon. So I get come through here. You know, I want to say yes. I do think you will get back together here. I am feeling quite a bit of pain around this at the moment, Misha, from your perspective. and I hope I'm not telling you anything you're not aware of here, but I do sense that there is somebody else around him at the moment. I don't think that this is anybody significant. I think this is almost like a bit of a rebound kind of connection, somebody that he's sort of going to for validation. I want to say, you know, I've come out of a relationship, I'm feeling a bit low, my ego's a bit bruised, and I want to know that people still find me attractive. That's the kind of energy that's coming through around him. The good news about that is it's very natural to compare that energy to the energy that you've had in your previous relationship. And I think that's what Brendan's doing here. And the comparison is showing that actually this isn't a great energy. It's nowhere near as good as what it was with you. And actually, there's bridges to be built there. So, yes, I do think he is going to come back towards you. Now, I've got to say, in terms of timing, there is a little bit of a wait here because I'm getting it coming in around about Halloween time. I hope that doesn't freak you out. So end of October, actually, beginning of November, it looks like this is coming in. But that's when the timing is going to be right. So again, you're just going to have to give it a little bit of space there. Don't sort of bombard him. That will push him away further. Let him come to his own conclusions here because he's already doing that reflection. And I do think you will be back together.
All right. Well, October, kind of November, that is right around the corner. So
it's not far off, no.
Yeah, just a little bit of time left. But we do thank you for stopping by, Misha. And we did hope that message resonated with you. Sorry. Go ahead, Zach.
No, I was just saying thank you to Misha. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Our next question for you, Zach, comes from Heather. Heather is asking, when do you see her getting a new job? She's currently unemployed and looking to change that, obviously, very soon. So, Zach, what insight can we provide Heather?
Okay. So I think, Heather, when I look at sort of, I'm getting a lot of career readings come through at the moment. At the minute, I think there's a lot of things going on in the sort of American market with elections and interest rates and things like that, which is affecting businesses in general. So there is this wider period of stagnation, which I think you are sort of being sucked into. But I do sense that the obviously, I can't say too much about this, but the general vista, shall we say, is set to change. And I think there's going to be a shift for you as we move into October. Now, I don't see you being employed in October, but the mechanics and the nuts and the bolts of that are going to be there. So this is when you are going to interview. This is when you're going to really get a good feeling about a job, a good energy and a good vibe. It's almost a bit like buses, this actually, because sometimes you get nothing for ages and then three come along at once. And I am sensing that there is going to be that opportunity of choice for you. So don't feel that you've got to jump at the first job that comes along here, Heather, because I know that might be the temptation when you've been unemployed, but actually there are going to be more than one, even two or three jobs coming along in quite short succession. You are interviewing well. It's nothing that you're doing wrong. It's just it's a very, very competitive market at the moment. And I would just say to you here, be yourself. Don't try to be, when you go to these interviews, overly corporate or anything like that. I am sensing that you've got a really good sort of upbeat, positive personality, and I don't want you to suppress that to interview. People need to see something different, and I think with you, this is about you really projecting who you are out there. We know you've got the skills, we know you can do the job, but they need to see that personality come through. So don't suppress yourself, my love. So I would say you will be employed in November, but a lot moving towards that in October.
All right. Well, we hope that did resonate with you, Heather. And also, thank you for stopping by. I mean, we are wishing you some career luck, and hopefully that dream job opportunity is just around the corner for you. Zach, our next question comes from Victoria. Victoria is asking, where do you see her and Justin's relationship going?
Okay, let's have a look at this. It's interesting, this, Victoria, because you're almost asking it, and I get this vibe that you're asking it in an almost a negative sense, as in you're concerned about this relationship and you're worried that maybe it's not going to go the distance. And the reason I hesitated a little bit there is because the first thing that came through to me was marriage, and I thought, oh no, that's a bit extreme. So I really had to tune in and home in on this. But that is what I was getting coming through. So that suggests to me that this is a relationship that's going to go the distance. Now, I'm not naive enough to say that you're not perhaps in a situation where there is a bit of a crossroads and you're wondering whether this relationship's going to get better or whether it's going to stagnate. I do think that there are things that need to be ironed out in this relationship, but it's very true what people say when you say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I think any issues and problems that you're going through at the moment, Victoria, is actually going to make you guys stronger as a couple. I'm not saying that you're going to get married this year. I'm not even saying that there is going to be an engagement this year. There are things that need to be sorted out before that. However, I do get good vibes around February. Of course, February we do have Valentine's Day. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if there is an engagement sort of planned for around about that time. So when I look at this, the long-term trajectory is very, very positive. You've just got a few things to sort out in the short term, but you know what? You will do that. So don't give up, and you need to stick with this because there's a lot of happiness there.
All right. Now that we're already kind of a little bit of a quarter of our way through today's live stream, we're really flying by. And Victoria, we really want to thank you for stopping by with your question today. I mainly wanted to emphasize both how to reach Psychic Zack if you've been enjoying just this little free preview of his abilities today, and this code LOVE20, which gets you 20% off your next purchase here at California Psychics. We really want to reward everybody for attending the live today. This code does expire tomorrow. So make sure you get on this code LOVE20 to get 20% off your next purchase. And you can use that to get your, you can use that purchase on a one-on-one reading experience with Psychic Zack. Psychic Zack has been providing some excellent and insightful answers today. So Zack, can you let everybody know when is the very next time you're going to be online and available to read on that one-on-one reading experience away from the live stream, more private, and on CaliforniaPsychics.com or the app, and your regular schedule throughout the week?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a little bit ahead of you because I'm in the UK here. So I will be on Eastern time at midnight. So if you're staying up a bit later tonight, you'll be able to get me. And that is 9 p.m. Pacific time, I believe. So you'll be able to get me tonight, which will be Tuesday, going into Tuesday, and also Wednesday and Friday at that time. And Thursday I am on as well, but a little bit later in the day. So that's perhaps a little bit of a better hour for you. So either evenings on Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday, or during the day on Thursday, you will be able to get me.
Perfect. And if you miss any of that, you can always click the link in the description below, which will pull up Psychic Zack's profile on CaliforniaPsychics.com, as well as the ability to go right into his call queue if he's online, sending in a message or booking an appointment with him. And if you're having any trouble booking with any of our psychics or Psychic Zack here at California Psychics, lots of psychics, make sure you give our customer care line a call and they will get you booked with any of the psychics of your choosing. Just say, hey, I'm having a little bit of trouble. They'll get you booked at an appointment slot that works for you and, for example, Psychic Zack. All right. Our next question for you during this free live preview of California Psychics comes from Christy. Zack, Christy is asking, will Corey and I come together this month after years of not moving it forward? I'm assuming they're having a little bit of turmoil, or more so kind of a friendship, kind of a friendly, flirtatious friendship.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what it is about this month that's making you feel that now is the time. So I've got to be honest with you, Christy, I'm not feeling a strong pull towards this month. I don't want to give you unrealistic expectations here. But I do think you will come together. but it's got to be when the time is right with this. And I know it seems like it's gone on forever, and I can feel that it feels like it's gone on forever. And you're at that stage where you just want to say, either give up or let's just get on with this. And you know what? Sometimes you have to be a little direct and say how you feel. And I sense that maybe you've been sort of tinkering around the edges with this a little bit. And what Spirit's saying here is sometimes you've just got to use that voice and say exactly how you feel. Now, when you do that, he's not suddenly just going to say, oh, yeah, by the way, yeah, let's move together. It takes more than that. But he is going to go away and think, and he is going to go away and reflect. Now, for all that to happen in September, I think it's a bit of a tall order. Do I think it could happen in October? Yes, certainly by November. So I would say we're looking at a bit wider timeline than what you've given there, but not too far off. But you do need to act yourself to make this happen. If you just sort of will it to happen, it's going to be longer. You do need to be a little bit more assertive, I think, here in what you say, and obviously do that in a nice way, but you do need to give it a little bit of a push.
Perfect. Now, Christy, we hope this does resonate with you. We hope the relationship between you and Corey is something you obviously want, and it is something that works out for the two of you. Our next question for you, Zach, comes from Ellen. She's asking more of a general question in terms of what do you see for her in terms of her love and job. You can also feel free to pull a card if you want.
Well, I might pull two, actually, Carson. Yeah, let's have a look. We've got love and job. Oh, well, love, first of all, I've got passion coming through, which is, if you talk about love, that's an absolutely brilliant card, because it is what it does, what it says on the tin, really. Passion suggests something which is going to be very intense. It suggests something that is going to move really quite quickly. I'm sensing that there's something new coming in, a new kind of connection here for you. Or building on something which is perhaps in its infancy. But this is not something that's going to move slow. I think so far tonight we talked about a lot of things which are potentially going to move slow, but this is not one of those things. It will move quite quickly. It will be quite passionate. And I think the danger with this can always be that it's a bit, are you going too fast too soon? And is that going to spoil things down the line? But actually with this, it's going to feel right and the energy is right. I also get a lot of balance coming in here. So I would say look out for Libras. I do feel a Libra connection here coming in. Of course, we're coming into that period anyway, moving into October. But yeah, I don't sense it's because we're in October. I think this person is actually going to be a Libra. Like my good self, I might add. It's a good sign to be. Right, work. A bit of a different kettle of fish here because I've got pressure coming through, Ellen. Pressure, again, is another one of those cards where it is a bit like what it says on the tin. I think you are going to feel under a lot of strain. I think you are going to at times be a little bit overwhelmed, and I think you may struggle to see that work-life balance, particularly as we've got relationships sort of moving quite quickly and you've got the pressure there at work. So you really are going to have to be quite disciplined in your approach to make sure you've got that work-life balance correct. And again, it's this word balance coming in as we move into Libra in October. So you really need to get your scales in order, is what's coming through here. And I think that this Libra guide that's going to come into your life, will help you with that actually a little bit.
All right. Well, Ellen, we hope you get some, very good advice from that answer. I wanted to look at our next question, which was from Stephanie, which is another more kind of general question as well. And also, I did see a note for one of our other audience members. I do notice that there's a kind of a question about fertility. Unfortunately, here at California Psychics, we are unable to answer any fertility or legal related questions, just a part of our service. So I do see a question about possibly having another baby. Unfortunately, we are not able to answer that during the live stream, but we wanted to give another chance for you to get a question answered. So you are free to ask another one. Stephanie, though, was asking for a love reading, please. She is single and very looking to mingle and change that, Zach. So what can we provide, or what can you provide as a reading for Stephanie?
Do you know what? As soon as this comes in, Stephanie, I get a strong draw to the letter D, and I'm just was trying to work out whether that's December or whether that is an initial, which has been given to me of a person, and I feel that this is a person. So you look out for anybody that has that initials. That's D for David, Daniel, etc. I think that is important for you. I think it is coming in, though, interestingly, more towards the end of this year. I don't think it's something that is going to go into January for you meeting this person. I don't think this is going to be an online connection either. So I would avoid any kind of online or internet dating. It's something which I'm getting an energy that is coming through more organically, I want to say, but that's not to say that you're just going to bump into them. I feel that you are going to be introduced by somebody in more of a social setting. So I kind of feel this is perhaps a friend of a friend kind of scenario going on. It might not feel like a relationship or anything romantic initially, but I think it's something that's going to develop into that. So I would very much look for those kind of D names. I'm getting a lot of star signs come through tonight for some reason. I don't know why, but I am getting a kind of Taurus feel around this person. So I think we're looking for a D name and a Taurian there, Stephanie.
All right. Well, that next person could just be right around the corner for you, Stephanie. So we are wishing you luck, and thank you for stopping by today's live stream today. All right, Zach, our next question for you comes from Christopher. Christopher is asking, when will him and his ex-fiance Inka be getting back together again? They are high school sweethearts of 11 years, recently split 3 months ago. So he is looking for a little bit of advice.
Oh, yeah, right. Let's just have a look at this, Christopher. I can absolutely feel the pain. I'm getting it coming through in my, my clairsentience. So I know this has weighed really, really heavy on you. What is coming through here, and this is coming through from spirit. This is a direct spiritual message that's coming through to me here. From your guides actually here, Christopher. Very much saying that you've been together for 11 years. You don't have 11 years for no reason. There's real solid bricks and mortar there. Yes, you've split, but I feel that it should never have happened. I feel that it was almost blown out of proportion, and you said things and she said things, and before you know it, you both kind of got carried away. And I feel on her side, I don't feel that there's any doubt that she wants to reconcile. She knows that you're somebody that she's been with for a long time and has made her very happy. But I am getting this stubbornness coming through from her and very much digging her heels in and wanting to prove a point. I also want to say, and I know it's not the nicest thing to say, but I've got to give you as it comes through, I almost feel she's playing a bit of a game here. And the reason I say that is it's very much about wanting to prove a point and almost to punish you. And I think once she's done that, and I think what she's looking for from you here is remorse, apology. Now, I'm not saying you're going to want to give that. I'm not sensing that you are in the wrong necessarily here. I'm just giving you her perspective on it. But you need to come together in order to patch this situation up. You will do that because there is a lot of energy still there. This is a very superficial argument. And like I say, rather than it having any depth, which is cutting really deep, it does seem to be that superficial level of games and stubbornness. Now, the question, I believe, was when will you come back together? I think it's going to... I want to say that you'll be back together for Thanksgiving. I want to say that you'll be back there by November, but certainly by Christmas. I don't think she wants to go through these significant dates and the holidays and in the calendar with this still holding over her head. So she will want to bring it back together. You are going to have to swallow a bit of pride when she comes back. There's things you're going to want to say, but I think you're just going to have to not say them straight away. Let her come back in, move back a bit, and then say what you need to say later, because otherwise you are going to be at loggerheads again. So you're just going to have to take a bit of a soft approach with this, Christopher. So I'm going to say probably between the 20th and 30th of November.
All right. Well, that was a very insightful answer from Zach. We are wishing you the best of luck, Christopher. We know this is a really just tough issue, and we really, really wish the best for you. So we hope that answer can kind of provide you a little bit of insight on what that next step for you is. Our next question for you, Zach, comes from Christina. Christina is asking another love-related question on, do you see her meeting anybody new this year or an old flame coming back into her life? She's currently single at the moment.
Okay. I'm not getting a strong energy towards this, Christina, I have to say. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you're not going to meet anybody new, but again, it's the time scale, I think, with this. We need to remember we are fast approaching the end of the year. I don't feel it is going to be this year. I feel, and I know you're saying this because obviously you feel ready, but I am getting this energy that there is some baggage almost that you need to deal with and process, and something that you haven't fully let go of. And I want to link it in a way to this, to this old flame coming back in. I feel that you are almost pinning a lot of hope on this particular person coming back in, and it's almost like a wish and a desire. But in all truth, when you do meet somebody, I feel this is going to be somebody new. I don't feel you are going to go backwards. I don't feel this is somebody from your past. So what Spirit's saying to me here is you really need to let go. You need to let go of any sort of past connections. You need to deal with them, process them, get rid of that baggage. And then you're going to open the doors for people coming in. I do think you will do that. I do think you will get rid of that by the end of the year and process and deal with that. But I think we are looking probably early New Year for that new person to come in. January time. I don't think it's going to be too far into February, if it is at all, but end of January, beginning of February, I certainly see you will be with somebody by Valentine's Day. So that's sort of the maximum that it's coming through. But I want to say sort of that last sort of part of January.
All right. Well, Christina, we hope that did resonate with you. And we want to thank you for stopping by today. Now, we're about halfway through today's free live preview of California Psychics, which means we still have a lot of time to answer some questions for free during today's live stream. But I do want to stop for a moment and just give a couple of shout outs for our audience. Now, you see this promo code going on right below my face here. That code is LOVE20. And if you use that code LOVE20 on CaliforniaPsychics.com, you can receive 20% off your very next purchase with us, because we're kind of in the spirit of emphasizing manifesting love as the season ends. So we've also had a lot of love related questions during today's free live preview. So if you are wanting to get a follow-up reading with Psychic Zack, you can use that code LOVE20 for 20% off your next reading with Zack. Now, also just want to say that it is, also one person just said that they used it. Very good timing. But also, if you use that, that code will expire tomorrow. So you only have today and tomorrow to use it. And I just want to say how special it is. So that's why you hear me keep talking about it. But if you are wanting to use that code for a one-on-one reading experience with Psychic Zack on CaliforniaPsychics.com, Zach, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody your regular schedule and the very next time you're going to be online and ready to read?
Yeah, so if you are in the East Coast, you can get me at midnight tonight or tomorrow or Friday. If you are on the West Coast, then obviously that's going to be 9 o'clock tonight, tomorrow or Friday. Or on Thursday, you can get me during the day if that suits you better. And I can do offline messages or I can do chat and calls. So you can come through to me however you prefer.
So perfect. All right. Well, if you're having any questions booking with Psychic Zack, or you want a quick way to pull up his profile, you can click the link in the description of this live stream you're watching right now. It will pull up Psychic Zack's profile on CaliforniaPsychics.com, and you can call our customer care line if you're having any troubles booking with Psychic Zack, and they can get you set up with an appointment. All right. Now, as we get started with our second half of today's live stream, Diana starts us off, Zach, and she is asking, what do you see for Diana career-wise in the near future? And if you also want, you can feel free to pull a card as well.
Well, yeah, let's. We've not done that for a little bit, have we? Okay. Oh, that's interesting. I've got dark matter coming through here, which is all those little bits in space, which basically means mystery. Now, that doesn't mean to say we don't know, we don't have an answer. But when mystery comes in, it does suggest that there is a little bit of something new and something that you are not quite sure why you're being pushed in a certain direction. And this can happen quite a bit in careers where, you know, there's somebody more higher up that's trying to mold you into something, trying to sort of push you into another department. And you're thinking, why on earth are they doing this to me? This is not where I work. This is not what I tend to do. But it's because they've got a succession plan, which they perhaps can't say. I am sensing there is, I'm going to use the word secrecy around your career at the moment. The reason I'm using that word is because there are things going on in the organisation that you are not aware of, but that are going to directly benefit you. So I think what you're going to find is there are going to be decisions made and you're going to think, not sure about this. I don't know where this is going. And you're going to ask questions, and that's where this mystery is coming in. You're not going to get an answer. However, all will become clear. I do see quite a bit, you'll be pleased to hear this, I do see quite a bit more money around you in the new year, and that does seem to be connected to work, so that does suggest to me that we are looking at a pay rise or something that comes with significant bonus or something of that nature. You've just got to ride with this. Don't push back too much and don't question too much when people are sort of suggesting that you do things. There are going to be a couple of curveballs that come your way here, Diana, but it's important you go with them because it is going to put you in a good position overall. So, you know, just bear that in mind.
All right. Well, we are wishing you the best, Diana. We hope it all works out for you. And we want to thank you for stopping by today. Our next question for you, Zach, during today's free live preview of California Psychics comes from Tina. Tina from YouTube is asking a love-related question. John lives in Michigan and she lives in Florida at the moment. Will John be coming to visit Tina soon? She's really missing him and she wants to see him and know what is next for their relationship.
Okay. Let's just tune into John here and see what comes through. I'm sensing with John, I'm sort of drawn to his career at the moment. I know this is obviously a love reading, but it's sort of interrelated. I'm not sure that he's able to work remotely, and I'm sensing that is causing some issues with him able to travel and being able to travel for any length of time, Tina. What's interesting though is it isn't through a lack of desire. I do feel that he does want to come to see you, but it's circumstances outside of his control that seems to be preventing him from doing that. But yes, I do think that he will come to visit you relatively soon, and I'm getting sort of 4 to 6 weeks. That's what I mean by that kind of time frame, because he doesn't just want to. I mean, I'm not particularly sure of the distance there with my American geography. It's not great, but from what I'm being told him, he doesn't just want to sort of fly in and then fly out. He wants to spend a good couple of days with you. And I think that's why he's waiting till he's got a decent amount of time where he's able to do that and his diary and his calendar is free. So that puts us round about mid to end of October. So that Halloween period again, really. And I think that's when he will be around you. So yeah, he will be coming to see you. And I think, the key part here is about you knowing what's next. When he does come to see you, there are things that need to be discussed about how this relationship's going to proceed and move forward, because you need to make sure it works for you. Just as he needs to make sure it's going to work for him. And obviously there are some decisions that are going to have to be made. They don't need to be made immediately. And I know when you see each other, sometimes you don't want to discuss that because you don't want to take away from in the moment because you've not seen each other for a long time. But I feel that with him coming for a longer period this time, obviously enjoy yourselves the first few days. But then at some point you do need to discuss this because then you're both going to have a clearer plan. But I think it's going to work out quite well because I am seeing more security around you both. So it is important that you have that conversation.
All right. Well, Tina, we hope that conversation between you and John goes well, and we are wishing the best between the two of you. Our next question for you comes from Angelica. Zach, does Jay still have feelings for Angelica? Will they reconcile? He is a Pisces and she is a Libra, if that also helps.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he does still have feelings for you, but the two things aren't necessarily connected. He has care for you, and I do think that he is worried about you to an extent. And I do see that there will be quite a bit of contact actually between you. In terms of reconciliation, I'm not saying it's not going to be an option, but I don't think you are going to feel that you want to reconcile with him. I think you're just going to feel he's a little bit non-committed. And I think you'll feel that you can do better now. If you choose to do that, I think he will go along with it, but it's one of those things that just looks like it will just be okay. So I don't assume to tell you what you're going to do. But if I would say probably not. I think you will probably decide against reconciliation. But yes, he does still have feelings for you.
All right. Well, Angelica, we hope that situation does work out for you. Our next question, and also I do see a little bit of a hello. You may recognize a Melissa Zach, just somebody saying hello. So
Hi, Melissa. Hi, Melissa. How you doing?
But
we speak quite yet.
I did just she is also saying with pairing a question along with it, she needs some clarification from Anika. She is a Sagittarius and Melissa is a Pisces. Thank you so much for any insight that you can provide.
Okay. Let's just have a little look at Anika. Yeah. Do you know what? When I look at this, when you say clarification, obviously that can mean a number of things. I think that on the whole, what I'm getting coming through here is you both want the same thing and you both have the same vision. And I want to say that you're both walking the same path, but I think you're walking it at different speeds. And I don't necessarily think the communication from Anika is coming through in the way that you would like it to. And I think that's causing you to second guess what's on her mind. I know what it's like with Sagittariuses. I'm married to one myself, so I'm very aware of how difficult they can be. But do you know something? I think she will open up a little bit more, but you can't force a Sagittarius to open up. They've got to do it when they're ready. They can be very closed sometimes. But the thing about Sagittarius is that there's so much love, there's so much care there, and I do feel that is coming through. And I think this is more about your insecurity, but you're just going to have to wait for her to catch up with you on that one, Melissa. But overall, I see good things for you. I think it's a nice match.
Perfect. All right. Well, Melissa, we hope that all does work out in your favor. Our next question for you, right before we transition over to our card pull section of the live stream, will be from Mary. And right before we get into Mary's question, I do want to emphasize a little bit more on that card pull section. During the last 15 minutes of the live stream, we like to switch to a card pull section just to get through questions a little bit faster and give people a little bit of a larger opportunity to get their question answered during today's free live preview. All right. Now, Mary is asking, will her current situation work out in her favor? So kind of more of a general reading. If you would also like to pull a card for this, very funnily, right before our card pull section.
Yeah, very cryptic. I was just starting to tune into that actually as Carson was speaking, because I thought, that's an interesting one. But let's do that and see what comes through here. So we've got our outer core sort of cards coming through, which is our shell. It's it's sort of how we outwardly project ourselves rather than what our inward feeling is. So when we get a card like that come through, it suggests that we are putting on a bit of a facade and not saying necessarily what we truly think, and it can be defensiveness actually. So I'm just tuning in, or trying to tune into your situation here more specifically. And what I will say, without going into too much specifics of it, because I know it's quite private, is that the person we're talking about here is not telling you what is on his inside. He is showing you a tough shell. And I know it's not easy because there's someone else involved in this as well. And that makes it hard. Yeah. Thank you, Mary, for clarifying that. What I would say to you here is, don't push him to tell you what he wants, what you want him to say. He's got to say that when he is ready. But the question is it going to work out in your favor? On balance, yes. I don't think you're going to get all your own way in a bag, to put it in here, Mary, to be quite honest. But I know what the crux of what you're asking here is, and yes, but there is still going to be things that need to be worked upon, if I can put it like that. And if you want to ask anything more specific on the back of that, Mary, please do so.
Perfect. All right. Well, Mary, we hope this did resonate with you a little bit and kind of be a little bit of a describer of your situation at the moment. I want to thank you for stopping by today. And also, we are going to be transitioning over to our regular card pull section. Now, you can ask card questions such as a love card, a general card, finance, career, life path. And you can also pair a little bit of insight along with it if you would like to give a little bit of context as well. But as we get those questions coming in, I do want to also promote the super awesome promo code that is right below me and on your screen right now, which is LOVE20. We've been having a lot of love related questions. And also we are just kind of emphasizing that end of summer, beginning of fall energy of manifesting love. So when you use that code LOVE20, you can redeem it for 20% off your very next purchase with us here at California Psychics. And you can use that on a love and relationship reading to find out what is going on exactly with your boo. So this code will expire tomorrow, so make sure you take advantage of it ASAP. Once again, LOVE20, and it will stay on our Facebook page after we go offline as a recording, so you can always come back and check it in case you forget. But Zach, in case there's people out there wanting to get that love and relationship reading with you after using that promo code, can you go ahead and shout out your regular schedule? Because you've been giving some amazing answers today, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people who are wanting to find out.
Absolutely, yes. So you can get me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at midnight if you're on the East Coast. And if you're on the West Coast, that will be 9 p.m. Or on Thursday, you can get me during the day. And I know that we're all in different time zones. So if you look on the app, it will tell you in your time zone exactly when I am available.
All right. And there is also phone call and also text-based message reading. So if you do want to do more of an offline, online messaging with Psychic Zack, you can always do that as well, or in a bunch of our other psychics here at California Psychics. But now we are switching over to our card pull section. And our first card pull will be coming from T. T from YouTube is asking for a love card between them and D. T and D, when do you see a connection coming in?
T and D, right, let's have a look. Let's just have a good shuffle of these cards. Okay, so, I mean, we've got the half card coming there, which is all about comfort and making home and, you know, being all snug in front of the fire, which, you know, might not be what we're thinking about in the summer, but the principle is still there. So that does suggest more of a colder climate type of thing, so perhaps more towards the winter, but it does suggest a nice, cozy situation. So I would say, I mean, in terms of communication, which is obviously your question, I would say I see communication in October. I see you actually spending time together, November, December time.
Amazing. Now, our next question comes from Jennifer, who is asking, I guess, a really career card. When will she be getting? Oh, two cards then. Love and career. When will she be getting a call from Jason and for a job interview?
Okay, let's just have a little look. Right, so we'll do the love card first. We'll do it in the order that it's come in. So we've got water cards coming through here, which is all about emotion, but also bringing in clarity as well. With emotion coming through, it does suggest that when you get a call from Jason, it is likely to be a bit emotional. I think you were probably expecting that. But nonetheless, you know, that's fine. I think it needs to be. And I think perhaps you are aware of that. A card isn't going to tell us exactly when something's going to happen, so I need to sort of tune into it in a bit more detail. I am getting Tuesday come through. I know it's Tuesday tomorrow. I don't think it's likely to be tomorrow, so I won't say a week on Tuesday. That's perhaps a bit longer than what you wanted, but that looks like that is when that is coming through. In terms of your job interview, okay, we have got rain coming through. It's all about water at the moment, but rain is also about endurance. And with that coming through, that does mean when you get that endurance coming through that you just have to stick with it. So I'm assuming that you are asking here, when are you going to get a call about a job interview that you have already had? With that endurance card coming through, that suggests that perhaps that job is not going to give you the results that you were hoping for. But I do think that you will get a job in the not too distant future, but it perhaps won't be the one that you have applied for.
All right. Well, a very insightful answer. Thank you, Zach. And we hope this did resonate with you, Jennifer. We got a lot of questions coming in, and we want to do as many as we possibly can. Next one is for Alicia. Alicia is asking, hi, Zach, a love card quickly, please.
Oh, right, lovely. So we have got the lake card here. All the water cards are coming through. That is about depth when that on this particular deck. Depth is a really great card to come in because it shows that we are talking about a deep, meaningful connection as opposed to a shallow and superficial connection. So this shows to me that there is somebody that if they're not in your life already, they are going to be coming into your life, Alicia. The connection will feel very solid. You will feel that you know this person very well, and that they really open up and you feel that you have shared very deeply your connections. If you are with someone at the moment, they will get to the stage where they do that. So you might have felt that they've been holding back, but they will actually come forward and give you a lot more than what you've been getting, and that will really solidify your relationship.
All right. Now, at some point, I did see a little bit of a thank you from Jennifer, our last question we answered. So if I do find that, oh, there. But our next one is going to be from Ava. Ava is saying, aloha, Zach and Carson. Oh, excuse me. She has been dating Ryan for 2 months. Can you tell her if she is in love with Ava, and when will he say it? So a love card between Ava and Ryan. Not a like card, a love card.
Not a like card, a love card. Well, I've got the cave card coming through here, Eva, and caves are about protection. So when this card comes through, it does suggest that people can be a little bit closed. But closed is good in this situation because it means they're being a bit closed about their emotions. And if they're being closed about their emotions, it means that they have got something there and they are not necessarily giving it out. So yes, that does mean I would say that he is in love with you, which I think you already know. But the question is, when is he going to actually say those words? I think we are looking here around about Thanksgiving from what's coming through. I think this will be connected to a gift. I think it will be a very special time for you both. And I think those words will naturally come out during that period of time from the way it comes through to me.
All right. Now next one comes from Jess. And thank you, Ava, for stopping by today as well. We hope that did resonate with you. Jess is asking for a general card. She's been feeling a little like life has been a little stagnant lately, and so would love to see if there's any exciting changes coming her way.
Yeah, sure. No worries. Well, yes. So I've got the south card. This is a compass direction. And when this comes up, it symbolizes adventure. So yes, adventure is probably one of the most exciting cards you can get because it shows a dive into the unknown. It shows doing something a bit different and off the beaten track. I'm getting through spiritually travel coming through with this, so it does suggest that there will be the opportunity for international travel. I think towards Europe and Asia I'm getting coming through, so I mean that's a really good opportunity there. I think this may have been limited by funds at some point, but it does look like you will be able to afford to do that. Obviously, that's only temporary. Your question there is relating to changes. It will bring change in life path. Whenever you do something like that, there is going to be fundamental change. It is going to cause a bit of a change in perspective and a change in direction in your life. And I do see that there is going to be a move as part of this. Now, that move is probably not coming until later in 2025, but there will be a move for you.
All right. Now, before we get into our next question, I want to shout out once again this promo code, our super special offer to get 20% off your next purchase with us at California Psychics. Make sure you use that code right below me. It's a Love20 super special code because, again, you get a little bit of extra savings when you make your next purchase, especially when you get that next one-on-one reading with Psychic Zack. Zack, can you go ahead and very quickly shout out the very next time you'll be online in your regular schedule before we get through a couple more questions?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can get me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at midnight if you're on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, obviously that will be 9 o'clock. And on Thursday, I'm doing a day shift. Well, day shift for you guys anyway, so you'll be able to get me more during the morning time.
Perfect. And a huge shout out for Psychic Zack. It is a little bit late for him because he is UK based, but he wanted to attend one of these lives because he is just one of our fan favorites. So a huge shout out to Zack if we can get some thank yous for him. Zack, our next question for you comes from Marianne asking for a money card, please. And thank you.
Okay. We got, oh, right, okay. So you've got wind coming up, and wind symbolizes change. So that really depends what your circumstances is at the moment, Marianne. If you have got a lot of money, it could mean that there is a change and you've not got as much. But I don't feel that is what we're talking about here. I think we're perhaps talking about you needing more. And it does show a change in financial direction. The energies connected with this do show a change, I would say, very much for the better. I am sensing from what's coming through, there is a little bit of debt, shall we say, that needs to be paid off. I do see you being able to do that. I'm not sensing that this is from a windfall or anything of that nature, but it is coming in from sources that are already available to you. I don't know if you've got your own business or thinking of setting one up. I think that that would be a good option. There is good entrepreneurial qualities coming through around you, but there is going to be opportunity to make money and perhaps things that you haven't necessarily thought of. So your cash flow is going to increase, certainly in the new year.
All right. And we hope that did resonate with you, Mary. We have a couple of thank yous as well, just from some of the other people we have answered, just from Jennifer and also Alicia saying thank you as always for your time, Zack. Thank you for attending. And also thank you for Marianne. We do have a couple of our time for a couple more questions to answer. Next one is from Vanessa. She's asking for a career-related card, and what field do you possibly see her working in? Though it might be a little bit hard to answer through the cards.
Well, we can do our best. We've got another directional one here. We've got East coming through, and East is about beginnings, actually. So with that card coming through, it does suggest that there is going to be a change in your job role. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean a change in your job industry, but it does mean a change in your job role. Now, what field do I see you working in? That is a bit difficult, as you said, with the card. So I just need to tune it in and see what comes through here. I am getting a lot coming through here connected to justice and things being fair. Now, I don't think this is necessarily a legal term. I think this is to do with employee relations, human resources, mediation, that kind of thing. I sense that you're somebody that likes things to be done fairly, justice to be served, and you don't like it when things are sort of off kilter in that respect. So I think it's going to be very much kind of like a mediation kind of role, and I think it's something you'll be very good at, and something that you would enjoy, Vanessa.
All right. Now, right before we get into Kathleen's question, Zack, can you go ahead and shout out once again your regular schedule and the very next time you're going to be online and ready for readings here at California Psychics? Because if anybody is not sold yet, they can click the link in the description below, and then also read all of Psychic Zack's customer reviews on his profile page. He's got hundreds in there. So if you are looking for hundreds of reasons to get a reading with Psychic Zack, go visit there. Zack, your schedule?
Yeah, so you can get me Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at midnight if you're on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, obviously that will be 9 p.m. And on Thursday, you'll be able to get me during the day. But just have a little look on the app because depending what time zone you're in, it will tell you in your time zone. If you can't get me, you can always book an appointment. And I always mix it up a bit with my schedule. So you'll be able to get hold of me at some point.
Perfect. And now a general card for Kathleen, please.
Kathleen, I was going to hold up the camera, I've not even looked at it myself. So we've got magnetism coming through there, Kathleen. I think that's a really great card because that is all about attracting things towards you, literally like a magnet to metal. So when this card comes through, it really just suggests that you need to emphasize the power of manifestation. And this is really about you having belief in yourself, belief in where you want to go, asking your spirit guides to provide that, and by default attracting that towards you. So I would really encourage you to look at the power of manifestation there, and you will succeed. There is success around you.
All right, Kathleen. That was a very insightful answer to end today's free live preview of California Psychics. We hope you enjoyed this 1 hour preview to see what it's like to get that one-on-one reading or to get a reading here at California Psychics. But if you're wanting that one-on-one private experience, make sure to go to californiapsychics.com or the California Psychics app. We want to thank everybody for your questions today, and we want to give a massive thank you for Psychic Zack for giving us insightful answers, because he did a fantastic job today, and a huge thank you to you, Zach. Once again, use that code LOVE20 for 20% off your next purchase here with us at California Psychics. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Zach. But yes, with a very special code. So make sure you use that LOVE20 for 20% off your next purchase. And we will see you next time, next Monday, where we will be hosting our very next free live preview of California Psychics. Thank you, everybody. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.